have a fairly ambitious goal, and that is to get the RX7 done in July. I'm hoping for like mid-July. That is the target, that is the goal, to get this car to be running, driving, tuned, good to go. I can use it for the summer, I can use it as a daily, I can use it for whatever the hell I want it to. And right now we have a long way to go. As you guys can see, we have a bare chassis that has just been painted. We still have more panels to paint and a lot of parts to install back on this thing. So without wasting too much time, let's focus on the hatch. Let's get some kill mat installed where our spare tire is gonna go, get that in, and then start focusing on getting a lot of the parts off of these racks that we have sitting around the shop to give us more room to use our inflatable paint booth for all of our body panels. I could be backwards. It's kind of funny trying to put this car back together when this is my first time building a Mazda. I mean, I had built it prior, but I never went to the extent of what we're doing now, where we take everything apart, and trying to figure out where all the little clips and pieces go has been most definitely an interesting time, because it's kind of, the way I describe it is just like a big puzzle. Everything for the most part can really only go in one spot, but trying to figure out where that one spot is for a lot of stuff can be a little bit more difficult than one might think. Digging through totes of parts, trying to find this or that. Eventually you'll find it, but it's just like a big puzzle. Especially doing it for my first time, you just kind of figure out what goes where. There's a lot of body plugs on this car that we got to figure out where we go. Like these ones, I tried to save as many as I could when I took the car apart, but obviously some did die. I'm missing 2 of these taillight clips for this side, so I'm gonna have to try to source those, find somebody that sells those, see if Mazda even sells those, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a discontinued part. All of the body connectors under the side skirts, I was able to save those, except for 2 of them which fell into the body, which unfortunately did die because I had to grab them with pliers and they got ripped out. So for the most part, all of those are back in. So as we continue to find more little stuff, we'll keep throwing it on, but I need to get this dash bar out to get it up to powder coat, so that way we can get it back somewhat ASAP. I took a ton of pictures here, so that way we can try to figure out how to put it back together, because I don't want to take it apart and then not be able to put it back together. So I see a whole bunch of little screws going around it, which surprisingly enough all still looks super clean. So let's just get to town, daddy-o, and dope. He's gonna hate me. Ben! It's wet out here!
Where is it?
It's wet!
Clay?
I'm getting wet!
Clay?
It's wet!
Is that Clay?
Ben! Ben!
Is that Clay?
Ben!
Hey, what up, Clay?
Who the fuck is Clay?
Hey, what up, Yates? What do you got? Oh, no.
Dash bar.
No. Wrong shop. 2 doors down.
Down there? That's one that I need back sometime soon.
Thanks, doggy.
Damn.
golden coat. Finished today, baby.
Yeah? Really good. Rear crash bar looking beautiful. We got the rear shock tower strut bar mounts. Gas tank neck beauty piece looking thing. Sway bar mount. Then.
Yes, sir. There's only one of these, right?
What do you mean? There's two. The other one's right next to it.
Oh, okay. There's only one of those.
Only one. That goes in the fuel tank.
Okay.
That's like when you open up the gas door.
I was looking around, I was looking through the chemical stripper and shit.
Yeah,
and I was
only
like,
one.
all right.
With our dash bar dropped off with Ben right now, I think next up we tackle the main gigantic harness. The one that goes from inside the car, through the fender liners, out to the front of the car, through everywhere. And just get that one out of the way, just so that way it's out of the bin, it's back on the car. Because at this point, I don't actually need to have it out anymore. We can just put it back in to get it out of our way and get it back in the car. This gigantic harness. So this main relay box right here sits up here in the front, and then we've got one part that goes that way, one part that goes that way. It's going to go inside of the car. It plugs into some of the chassis harnesses, some of the other stuff. Once this is in, then we can start getting a lot of the surrounding stuff in the engine bay on, and it frees up almost the entire wiring bin, because at that point, all that's left in the wiring bin is the aftermarket wiring for the engine harness and the coil packs, which now that actually we have everything out of the car, would be kind of nice because we can actually wire some of that nicely. But aside from the point, same thing we did with some of the other harnesses. I'm going to go through here, clean off any old dirt, debris, crap that is all over these harnesses. We're not going to depin anything. We're not going to destroy anything. We're not going to cut anything. Once all that is situated, then we can go through and start feeding it in the car. So we'll clean it, rewrap what needs to be rewrapped, get it installed. That's cleaned up, looking way better. Repaired any of the old tape that was covering any of the harness and the sheathing and replaced it with new. There's still a little bit of dirt that I'm gonna wipe off, but we'll do that once it's installed on the car. So the way that I remember this going in is it's got to feed in from the front, and we need that fuse box to come through here. So I think we're gonna start with that. We'll temporarily bolt up our fuse box right there and then start running all of this. One side's gonna go left, one side's gonna go right. And then we gotta just kind of figure it out as it goes. For the most part, it all only goes in one spot, so we'll figure it out. Can't be that hard. We took it out, we can put it back in. Actually, I think I'm gonna start by feeding in all of the interior stuff to where it's gotta go. This all used to go to ABS, so I don't quite know what I wanna do with that yet, because we actually are not running that, but we're gonna have to kind of sift through there, figure out what we're keeping, what we're not keeping, and then we'll just kind of cut off the electrical connector and strip it back to where it's gotta be. Did I do this backwards? No, I didn't. We dropped off our dash harness up with Ben like maybe 2 hours ago. What was it, 2 hours ago? Maybe that. He already got that done. He got everything that I just brought him done. This man's a wizard. If you guys need powder coat work done, hit this dude up. Like out of nowhere. Gee, sheesh. What does that mean? Why'd you put RH on it?
Man, I don't know. Right hand.
Right hand? What do I pull?
And I just got a Cerakote, the little ball joints.
That's fine. The eyelets?
Yeah.
Or whatever they are.
Whatever there.
Damn, dude. There's pink. There's still pink in these. Oh, you still got the bar too, right? Seriously, if you guys need powder coat work done, hit this man up. Vortec Coatings. He may have a punctured lung and broken ribs, but he's still knocking shit out.
I'm grinding, baby.
Dude, for real.
Ain't no stopping.
You got that shit knocked out so quick.
Yeah, I know. Where do you want all this? Over there?
You just put it on that seat right there.
All right.
It's all about to go back on the car anyways.
Yeah, I got down today, baby. We hurting, but cruising.
Well, I'm gonna test that, fit that thing real quick. Here, hold this, trade me. Just point it at the car. How does this normally go on? Is it like this? This thing about to look so freaking good on here.
Gotta get all that dust off there. Ooh, nice. don't even need a rear bumper cover.
Bro, look how good that fucking looks. That means I can put the dash in.
Together.
I'm getting all the wiring harnesses in right now. I'm getting this front main harness in up here. Once this is in, then I'm about to put that dash back together now that you came in clutch with that.
Heck yeah. Get the, oh yeah, you still have to paint the tank though?
Paint the what?
The gas tank?
Yeah. Dude, yeah, the black, yeah, black will look good against the white.
Yeah, that's
now
nice.
Now I can get the radiator in, and that's gonna bolt in right here. Oh! Oh! Coming in
You have all this room right here, or what?
Yeah, this is all for the radiator. The engine just sits behind this.
Is the radiator
sanded? Yeah, radiator and intercooler go right here.
Sick.
So both of those can actually go in the car permanently now.
Heck yeah, dude.
You're coming in fucking clutch. Look at this man!
I try.
I am actually baffled at how fast Ben knocked that out. This thing looks brand new. Brand new again, which is awesome. So I'm actually gonna put that back in the dash, but for the wiring harness, I did wanna show you guys this. I just ordered some electrical connector, or not even, just wire harness clips, so that way we can clip up everything on the harness to the factory positions, because a lot of the old clips are broken at this point, so we can get that fixed. But our main harness is in and routed into the chassis now, which is killer. So with the main harness, you do need to feed it up and over the frame rails right here. These do conform to the body right there. As you can see, mine are missing the clips, so they currently do not want to conform, which is fine. This side conforms a little bit better, but they kind of just wrap around underneath of this. They go behind the washer tank and the coolant overflow tank and just kind of sit back there. With mine, since I have a V-mount on this car, I have my fuse box relocated up here, and I actually put a riv nut in right here just to keep it kind of steady, like stable and steady right here. We are gonna have to go through here and kind of fix that situation, but we'll do that at a later point. I'm not gonna stress it right now. But he also knocked out our cross member here, which is awesome. So now that the cross member's in there, I can actually put in the V-mount radiator back in, get it off the rack, and get it in the car permanently as well. Ben is absolutely killing it with his powder coat stuff. I dropped that off like 20 minutes ago. Already got it back. With our dash bar here, now that's looking pretty. He also did our fuel tank straps too, and these look phenomenal to be able to hold up our fuel tank. So I'm actually gonna get these out of the way for right now, and we will work on making that fuel tank look brand new and getting that back in the car here shortly, along with a whole bunch of other goodies here. Brackets, braces. These caps actually sit up on top of the coilover shock here for the crossbar that goes across. So Ben's killing it with some of the stuff I'm tossing him. Our rear crash bar is looking beautiful on there as well. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. I want to get the dash set up and try to get it back in. If we can get the dash back in right now, that would be freaking awesome. I am so stoked to get this thing off the floor. I don't think I'm gonna bolt it in right this second, but I do want to get it set in place. We'll say way easier to install. Way easier to get in place when there's not a million other things right in your way. I have the dash loosely fitted in right now, but it is in its home. I don't think I need to take that out again. But just to be sure, I don't want to bolt it down quite yet. Looking good. I actually, so if you guys remember this big shroud piece right here, I shattered that when I was pulling the dash out. Very difficult to find, but I did find one brand new OEM one for sale. It was kind of expensive. I think I paid 600 bucks for it, but it's a left-hand drive, brand new one from Mazda. I've got it at the house. Looks really good. I've got a lot of brand new OEM pieces for the interior to kind of refresh it, give it an updated look. I just don't want to be spending money on interior panels like a brand new dash or anything like that if we just don't have to, if you know what I mean. So dash cleaned up well, it's in its home. I actually want to get the V-mount radiator into its home just to get it off the rack, get it back on the car, because it shouldn't need to come back off. I can install the engine with the radiator in. Go. I was a little concerned that maybe our fuse box wouldn't fit, but no, it fits perfect right down in there. So Very happy with this. I'm gonna jet out for the night. We're gonna come back in the morning, pick up and start knocking out the restoration on the fuel tank so we can get the fuel tank in. Once the fuel tank goes in, then we can keep doing more. We can we're gonna make so much progress on reassembling this, it's not even funny. We have the dash in, the radiator in, the main wire harness in, we got a lot of the heater core stuff behind the dash in, we got our new trim in, we got this in, there's so much going back on this, dude. I'm so excited. So this showed up yesterday, which I wanna assemble real quick. This is our new blast cabinet from Eastwood. So this thing was on sale, so I figured why not snag it? We can do a lot of our own powder coating this way. So I'm big excited for what is in this box. So I'm assuming there's gonna be some assembly required. Oh. Way better than the Harbor Freight one that I had before. And like I said, on sale for 200 bucks. Can't go wrong. Solid little blast cabinet. You can hook up your shop vac to it so that way it works as a dust collector. It also has this nice little built-in light off to the side so that way you can see what you're doing in there. I've already tested it out a bit on some of the brackets that we have sitting around. I'm gonna go drop these off to Ben here shortly just because the powder that I ordered isn't here yet and I'd like to just keep things rolling as we can. But honestly, dude, like 200 bucks. With this air compressor, and that cabinet, we can do a lot more stuff. And that I have the oven, we can powder coat again. So I actually have the whip for the oven to be able to plug it into the 220 outlet. So that way we can bake our own stuff. But in the meantime, till I get my powder coat in, I'm just gonna drop these off to Ben. With me sandblasting him, it's like 15, 20 bucks for him to powder coat stuff for me. Now I will say, I'm a little bummed. If you guys remember, I did shatter my gauge cluster hood for the RX7, which honestly, it sucks. It's my fault. I didn't look up how to take it out. And I had bought a new one and it came in from Japan and it was advertised as a left-hand drive cluster, but that is 100% a right-hand drive cluster, unfortunately. So I just emailed the seller on eBay to return that, get my money back. If I can't find an OEM one, I know they make carbon fiber ones, but I'd really like to get an OEM one if I can find one. If any of you guys are selling an OEM left-hand drive RX7 gauge cluster hood in good condition, let me know and I'll buy it off you guys, because unfortunately all I'm finding are right-hand drive ones. And the last thing I just did is I just tossed on our license plate lights and the wiring that goes inside of that rear crash bar, fed it back into the car and got it plugged in. I'm just trying to get all the stuff back on this thing as I can so that way we can turn it into a complete car. I might build the taillights in one of the next videos. I got a set of Alumistatic taillights so we can build our own boards and everything like that, build our own taillights. It shouldn't be too hard to do. But with that, that's where I'm stopping in this video, you guys. We got a ton of stuff done. I've got a ton of parts coming from JP3 that I had bought. We have stuff up at powder coat right now. In the next video, I'd like to get the steering column in, get all the dash stuff kind of plugged in. Our windshield shows up on Tuesday. And honestly, I think once we have the dash permanently in and we have everything plugged in, we can start getting a lot more stuff in there done. I have the wiper blades that I'm about to drop off. Not the wiper blades, but the piece that goes inside of there for the motor. I'm about to drop that off over at powder coat as well. And probably the wiper arms, because they're a little, yeah, they're kind of beat also. So I'm gonna drop off the wiper arms too, just so we can get the wiper arms, the big blade piece done and all that stuff. So that way we can get it back, get all that back on the car and keep going. Like I said, I'd like to get this thing done in the next 30 days, early July, mid-July at the latest, to get this thing done for summertime, because I do want to enjoy the car a bit. We'll go get it tuned. We'll make some power. Realistically, with everything that we have set up for the Mazda, I might toss on my ID 2600s that I have from the STI onto the 13B. And if we do that, I mean, this car is set up to do 750-ish wheel horsepower. I'm gonna keep it turned down. I'll probably keep it around 450, 500. I think that'll be a very usable range for this car, where it'll still be a blast to drive, still be reliable, and still be fun. If that blast cabinet is something you guys are interested in, I'll link it down below. You guys can use our discount code Smeedia10 over at Eastwood and save 10% on a lot of their stuff. If you're a big DIY guy like me, definitely comes in handy being able to save money where you can on that stuff. But if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, sight, and whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I'll put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.